Good afternoon and good morning to those of you who are out west. Welcome to today's demo cast from the Construction Specifier in Berner. My name is Tristan. I am the Associate Editor for the Construction Specifier, and I'll be moderating today's presentation. Just to cover a few housekeeping items before we get started, if you have any questions during today's demo cast, please enter them using the Q&A section, which you can find at the bottom of your Zoom window. We'll address as many questions as possible at the end of the presentation. While Zoom does have a raise hand function, we will be keeping everyone's mics muted, so please just use the Q&A instead. If you are experiencing any technical difficulties during the demo cast, you can enter a message in the chat, which you'll find right next to the Q&A, and we'll do our best to help. Today's demo cast is being recorded and will be available on the Construction Specifier's website by this time next week. Now, I'd like to introduce our speaker, Brian Paolucci. Brian has been working in manufacturing for more than 20 years, specializing in automotive, construction, RV, and motorcycle parts. He brought his sales and leadership expertise to Berner in October 2019, where he took on the role of regional sales manager for Berner. He has overseen and helped the specification of air curtains for recognizable brands such as Whole Foods, Dollar General, Chick-fil-A, and Zaxby's. Berner air curtains support people, planet, and profit through properly sized, installed, and operated air curtains which save energy and protect the thermal comfort of the area interior to the door. When the door is open, Berner air curtains support the triple bottom line, which is people with thermal comfort, IAQ and well-being, planet through energy conservation, GHG emission reduction, and chemical-free insect control, and profit through energy savings, increased customer, patient, occupant satisfaction, and employee productivity. Brian, we appreciate you for joining us today. Please take it away.
Thank you very much, Tristan, and welcome everybody to the 7 must-have air curtain designs for main entrances to support your clients' sustainability goals. So starting off, sustainability. Tristan just gave us a nice introduction to this slide. In addition, I'd like to share a few things. According to the Global Sustainability Study 2021, conducted by global strategy and pricing consultancy Simon Kucher and partners, more than 1/3 of global consumers are willing to pay more for sustainable products and services. As our population becomes more eco-conscious in their choices, meeting sustainability goals becomes more important in our building products, designs, construction, and operations. So according to another study conducted by First Insight, a marketing research firm in 2019, Gen Z are demanding sustainability in retail. Gen Z and millennials are the most likely to make purchasing decisions based on values, personal, social, and environmental. And yet another survey conducted in 2020 by Do Something, a social impact consultancy, reported that 75% of Gen Z respondents said that they wanted to see that brands were ensuring employee and consumer safety. So, with all that information, how does that relate to an air curtain? So, why add an air curtain to a space? And one of the things we want to illustrate here is on the left. We see a photo of how an air curtain works. So we bring air into the air curtain, we shoot it down over the door, and our objective is to separate environments. So we want to keep the outside air out, the inside air in, and that's what provides the energy savings. In addition, we also provide insect control, we provide thermal comfort, and there might even be a health department requirement for an air curtain in open air dining environments, for service doors in restaurants, those types of applications. So a lot of different uses for an air curtain. So vestibules. How about an air curtain as an exception to a vestibule? This is a topic many of you may know. If not, we'll go over a couple of details here. So research shows air curtains are more effective than vestibules for saving energy. protecting the interior space from temperature change, and gaining comfort. So the cost to install and operate a vestibule is certainly much higher than the cost to install and operate air curtains. And then we've got some great energy codes here to back us up, one of them being the ASHRAE 90.1 code. And basically that allows us to use an AMCA certified air curtain as an exception to a vestibule. So how about vestibules with air curtains? So this is an even better example. So research shows vestibules with an air curtain are the most effective at saving energy, protecting the interior from temperature change, gaining comfort, and so forth. So retrofits, new construction with vestibules with multiple doors, where do the air curtains go? So we're going to get into a little bit of that as we move on. So one of the things we want to talk about first is return on investment. So Berner has a return on investment calculator on our website. It's an energy savings and return on investment calculator. Just recently, in recent weeks, we've added a CO2 calculation to this as well. So now when we go ahead and put our information into the calculator, it's automatically going to give us a carbon savings as well that we can share with our customers. So that's nice information to be able to share. So here's a nice front entrance. Which model air curtain would we choose? So there's a number of different types, a number of different series air curtains available. And one of the things we want to share is we've got a blank page here with this entrance, and Berner is a very easy company to work with. So if there's any questions at all on specific projects, please feel free to reach out to us at any time, and we will do everything we can to respond quickly and specify or assist in specification of the right air curtain for the project that you're working on. Location of the country, all these things may affect what exact equipment that you would prefer. So one of the first series we want to look at is our Architectural Elite, and this would be our top of the line model in our architectural lineup. You can see this model has a shape that is very unique. It does not look like an air curtain. We spent many years actually consulting with architects and doing designs to find out what architects would actually want on a front entrance. And this design here was overwhelmingly chosen, and we introduced this a couple of years ago at the ASHRAE show in 2020. So some of the standard features on this are EC motors. So we've got the efficiency dialed in. It comes with our Berner IntelliSwitch, which gives us 10 speeds of adjustment. We have what's called Berner Air. This is a wireless controller, smart controller, that also provides BACnet and adaptive settings, and we'll explain that a little more in a minute. The cabinet comes with brushed stainless steel, grade 304 or better. The bottom panel is clear satin anodized aluminum, and then we have lots of options on colors. We do in-house powder coating, so we can make these air curtains just about any color you choose. There are some customs available as well that may not even be in that color chart. We just need to work with you on those. So single lengths up to 10 feet for the 8 series and single lengths up to 12 feet for the 10 series. And we can mount these on the wall. We can mount them from the top, either one. They come with wall mounting hardware, and they also have threaded inserts in the top so that we can suspend them from the ceiling or from another location as needed. High efficiency, low noise articulating Pro V nozzle. We're going to see that across the lineup here in the architectural collection. This unit comes with filters. They are washable, so it's not something you need to necessarily have spares on. They can easily be cleaned and put back in. And then one of the other important things to know is we have a rear cover for top mounting, and that conceals the fasteners. And why would we use that? This is something that is real handy to have when we mount the air curtain in front of a transom glass or something like that. So if we're going to suspend it from above and mount it in front of glass, and you're going to see it from the other side, now anything on the back side of the air curtain is covered up with that decorative cover. So makes for a nice install. So the next unit we want to look at in our lineup here is the Architectural Contour. Now this is actually a brand new product. We just introduced this a few months ago. You can see the design is quite a bit different, very sleek as well though. It's got a real neat shape to it, looks great over any type of a door. This unit comes with AC motors rather than EC, but you'll see down here in the options that the EC motors are an option for this. Again, it comes with the IntelliSwitch. The cabinet's clear satin anodized, the entire cabinet is. We've got the optional materials and colors available. We've got single lengths up to 10 feet on this model and 12 feet on the AC10. Again, wall or top mounting, same as I mentioned a minute ago. The high efficiency, low noise articulating Pro V nozzle, same as we saw on the Elite. And then again, the filters as well. So a lot of the same features that are available on the Elite. This model here takes a few of the more expensive ones out of the standard configuration and brings them in as options so that we can be as cost competitive on your projects as we can. So as needed, we can bring these items right back in. So the next model we want to look at is the Architectural High Performance 10 series. And many of you may have used this air curtain in the past. It's been in our lineup for quite a few years. This is one of our #1 selling air curtains. And it's been a great unit to have in the lineup. So this is a 1/2 horsepower model, and it's available in sizes up to 10-foot lengths. The IntelliSwitch digital controller is standard. The clear satin nano and the materials and the custom colors and so forth are all available just like before. Wall and top mounting. This comes with an actual wall mounting plate on the back of it. And that makes installation very easy no matter what the size is. And those threaded inserts are in the top for top mounting as well. And we can option in filters if need be. This unit does not come standard with them, but it's certainly a commonly chose option. And then the burner air system. So I mentioned a little bit about the burner air. It's a wireless controller and app. And we're going to get into more detail, but that app is a cell phone app available on Google Play or your app store. And it assists in adjusting the air curtain. You can do that right from the cell phone app. So also provides us backnet and those adaptive settings. So the architectural low profile would be the next unit we want to look at. And again, this has been in our lineup for quite a few years, still, again, one of our #1 sellers. And this is a very, very small air curtain in profile. So it's only about 7.5 inches tall. So if we've got limited space above the door and we want to try to fit something in there, this is a really good choice for those types of installations. The architectural low profile comes with 1/5 horsepower motors. The IntelliSwitch provides us with the 10 speeds of control. And same cabinet colors and materials as we saw before, same options on materials, and this is in single lengths up to 10 feet long. Comes with the wall mounting plate as we mentioned for wall mounting, also comes with those threaded inserts on the top, and then we've got the same options for the filters and the burner air wireless controller. All right. So what if we want to put an air curtain in a place that we can barely see it? We have what's called a recess model. And again, many may have used this model in the past. We've had it for many years. It fits up into the ceiling. The entire air curtain is actually in the ceiling, and all that is exposed is the grill screen below. So we'll look at a few of the features on this. So this is a 1/2 horsepower model, and we have two different ones here actually. We have a 1/2 horsepower model for a 12-foot maximum mounting height. We have a 1 horsepower model for a 16-foot maximum mounting height. Both of these models come with the IntelliSwitch. We have 2 speeds available on that 1 horsepower 16-foot mount and 10 speeds on the 12-foot mount. And that's in relation to the actual motors that are in there. That's why there's a limit. The cabinet color is white aluminum exterior. That's the bottom panel that we can see there that's exposed. Certainly we have the optional custom colors in stainless steel. These are available in lengths up to 12 feet. And again, we can do top mounting with this. We got the same nozzle, and this comes with the washable filter. And we can option in that Berner Air Smart Controller and app and so forth as well. So one of the really neat things about this is, again, you can't see anything but the grill screen, but this brings air in out of the room. So it's bringing it in through an intake coming out of the room rather than up above in the ceiling. And then it brings it right back out the nozzle. So the air just does basically a U-turn up inside the box and comes right back out into the room. Why is that important? For fire codes and things like that. So we don't want to be pulling air in the attic from one space to another. And this keeps the air inside of the room. So very nice model and very adaptable to a lot of different types of environments. So one of the things you may notice here on this, and I didn't mention it on the previous models, is the AMCA certification. So many of our air curtains carry that AMCA certification. And as we go through the presentation, you'll see that little label next to the air curtain. So how about the IntelliSwitch? So here's a great example of our latest IntelliSwitch digital controller. And some of the really cool features of this IntelliSwitch are, like we talked about, it gives us 10 speeds of operation. So that's all adjustable right there on that keypad. No need to choose and price control packages. So when we're doing commercial units, we may want to add in a time delay, or we may want to add in a 24-volt control, all these types of things. In this situation, the IntelliSwitch has everything built into it. So if we have even if we have a heated unit, it has an internal thermostat as well. So this is a very nice feature because your customer has a lot of adjustability whenever they've got a unit with an IntelliSwitch on it. This is a burner only product as well. So we created the IntelliSwitch, and it's only available on Berner air curtains, and no other domestic manufacturer has a built-in digital controller specific for air curtains. And then naturally, this is going to be for indoor use only because of the electronics. So a little bit about Berner Air. We said we talk about this. So this simplifies the programming and scheduling of the air curtain. So we can see that cell phone app there in the photo, and we can add as many air curtains as we'd like into this app, and it gives us that ability to program and check the air curtain right from that cell phone. And because now we have that Wi-Fi system, we also have an Ethernet connection on the air curtain. The air curtain is now connected to the internet. So because of that, your phone can actually communicate now with that air curtain from anywhere in the world, basically, as long as you've got an internet connection on both ends. So that gives you, if you're in facilities or you got multiple locations, those types of things, you can actually take all of your stores and put the air curtains right on that cell phone app. And then you can check and make sure that those are running, first of all. You can check your door swings. You can check where the fans are adjusted, all those different things. And that gives you the ability to know you're achieving those energy savings through and through. So when we make the investment on the equipment, we want to make sure that the location is properly using the equipment. And this gives us the ability to take a look at that. And those door swings are nice data as well. This also gives us that BACnet compatibility, so we can communicate with that system. And then how about weather-based proactive adaptive settings? This is a neat new feature we just introduced last year as well. And what this does is, because our air curtain is connected to the internet, we're pulling internet data in your location, wherever the air curtain is mounted. And because we can do that, we can actually adjust the air curtain based on wind loads for the day. So if this is something that's going to adjust itself every few seconds. And if we're very windy in the morning, the air curtain is going to turn itself up. And if it calms down in the afternoon, it's going to turn itself right back down. So that's nice to have, especially on a front entrance, because the number one thing we want to have on the front entrance is just the right amount of air, so it does not disturb anybody coming in and out of the door. So this also increases the air curtain's efficiency naturally. And as I mentioned, we can use this across all facilities. So we've got some commercial ones in here as well. And the first one we want to look at is the commercial low profile. And this is a 1/5 horsepower model. It comes in white or black powder coated as a standard. So there's no additional cost on that. The custom color and stainless are certainly available at an additional cost. Single lengths up to 10 feet and wall and top mounting. So this model here does come with that wall mounting plate we talked about also. And then we can see some switches here on the bottom of the air curtain. So on an unheated model, we're going to have 2 speeds here. We can turn it on high, low, or off. And then we've got on a heated model, you're going to have a heat switch as well. And then we can option in the filters. So looking at the big brother to that one, we've got our commercial high performance 10 series. And this would be made for doors or mounting heights, I should say, as high as 10 feet. And the commercial high performance 10 series has 3-speed motors instead of 2. So now that switch on the bottom gives us 3 speeds of adjustment. It's available in the same colors, the same materials, and the same options on color. And these are again available in 10-foot lengths, wall and top mounting, and they've got the optional filters as well. So here I promised we'd get into a little bit about energy savings. And in this example, the energy savings and carbon emissions calculator estimates that a popular cafe in Madison, Wisconsin, with a 4-foot wide main entrance, whose door is open 3 hours per day, 6 days per week, will save an estimated $1,073 in heating costs per year, while spending only $12.25 per year to operate the air curtain. So with one ambient unheated Berner Architectural Elite air curtain containing 1 EC motor, what's more is that this will also result in a carbon emission savings of 31.29 tons per year. So we can see that carbon savings right up here, and that's what was just recently added to the calculator. So this is a really nice calculation to do when we're looking at entrances and explaining to owners and whomever is listening about why an air curtain would be important on the project. And we can show the payback, we can show the savings, and that's something that will carry with that building moving forward. So with that, we're going to open it up to questions. And one of the things we want to make clear as well is, again, we're a very easy company to work with. We can help you with your projects anytime you need. We've got reps around the country that can assist as well. And we encourage you to reach out to us here at these numbers. We're open standard business hours. We're on the East Coast. And you can catch any of us at sales@berner.com. And that mailbox is monitored all day long, and the lead will be passed to the right person if you choose to go the email route. If you call in, we have a live receptionist. It's not going to go to voicemail, and the receptionist will connect you with the person that would be covering your area. So again, we appreciate everybody's time, and we open it up now to questions.
Well, thank you, Brian, for this excellent presentation. As he mentioned, we do have times for questions now. Please just open the Q&A that you'll find at the bottom of your Zoom window and post your questions there. We already have a few coming in, so we'll get started with these. And the first question I have here asks, for a typical commercial installation, would you recommend a simple temperature stat as controls or something else?
For a typical commercial, we definitely, if it's going to have a heater on the unit, then we would certainly recommend a thermostat if it's electric heated. Now, if it's a hot water or steam heated, then that's something that's typically going to be driven by whatever is controlling the hot water or steam valve, letting the steam or hot water through the coil on the air curtain.
Another question asks, does an air curtain really make that much of a difference towards maintaining an interior space's temperature or keeping flying insects out?
Thank you for that question. So that's a very good question. And an air curtain mounted on the inside of the door is what's going to achieve both of those protections. So you want to have it on the inside of the door again, and it's creating that separation. So the reason why we rate them as we do, like for the 8-foot high maximum and the 10-foot, is the capability of the amount of air that we can produce in the air curtain. So we want to be able to have enough airflow to achieve that separation at the door. So insects take a little bit more to manage. So if we're familiar with maybe a very high volume air curtain on a service door, that would not necessarily be the right air curtain for a front door. But we can achieve both of those protections mounted on the inside. We can achieve insect only if we mount the air curtain on the outside of the door.
Okay. We have another question, well, more of a request really, to elaborate a bit more on the articulating baffle control.
Sure. The nozzle of the air curtain actually has what's called an airfoil vane in it, okay, or vanes, I should say. There's multiple vanes across the nozzle of the air curtain, and those are adjustable. So when we say they're articulating, they can move 20 degrees in either direction. And those airfoil vanes are just like you'd imagine with an airplane wing. They're shaped so that the air passes over the airfoil and it starts off, I'd say, moving at a slower speed, and as it widens out, it speeds up and then comes back together to smooth that air out as much as possible and take any of that turbulence out of there. So what does that do for you? That gives you a nice projection of air down to the floor, and it also decreases the amount of noise produced just by the movement of the air.
Okay. And we have a question here that asks, can scent be added to the air that goes through the device?
I've not done that before, but I don't see any reason why that would be an issue. Just so long as there was not, anything corrosive or anything that would be passing through the unit, you just want to consider that ahead of time. So I would assume that'd be something that would be in the room, maybe ahead of the intake, and would pass through the unit.
Another question here asks, how long are the various air curtains intended to run? He gives the example of a large window, for example, in a restaurant that's intended to remain open all day. Would a air curtain be able to run during that entire time?
That's an excellent question, and absolutely yes. So probably the biggest wear and tear item on any kind of an electric motor device is the starting and the stopping. These are commercially built units, so they can turn on and run continuously all the time. We do that very frequently on that type of an application, and then we also do a lot of industrial applications, and it's very common to try to separate environments in a facility and just leave the air curtain running continuous 24/7.
Okay, and I think we have enough time for one more question. This one asks, energy savings and helping with sustainability goals are great, but what about the noise created by these installations?
Okay, another really good question. So we talked a little bit about this already in terms of noise. So when we're applying an air curtain to a door, it's important that we get the right unit, and it's great to have adjustability. So the units that we looked at today all have adjustability. We have 10 speeds of adjustment with the architecturals, and then with the commercial, we had either 2 or 3 speeds of adjustment. And the reason why we want to have adjustment is just so that we can manage the air just right. Again, on those calm days, we're not going to need a lot of air to provide an energy or provide a separation at the door and achieve those energy savings. It's literally about 400 feet per minute at the floor, which is nothing more than a gentle breeze, basically, that needs to be achieved. So at that type of air movement, you're really not making hardly any noise. And if there's any background noise in the area at all, you wouldn't even realize that the unit was running. So That versus a service door, like we talked about, a service door where we're doing insect protection only, we want to use a lot of air volume to keep those insects from flying in. So in those installations, that's when you're making a little bit more noise.
Well, thank you very much, Brian, and thank you to everyone who joined us today. That's all the time we have for questions, but if you do need to reach out with any additional questions, you'll find the presenter's contact information there currently up on the screen.